Alright, YouTube and college football fans everywhere, I'm about to blow your mind because I'm going to explain to you how Notre Dame joining a conference is good for not only college football, but also for Notre Dame. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's get into why it's good for college football. First of all, if Notre Dame is in a conference, then, well, it'll just be easier to determine if they're eligible to get into the college football playoffs. It won't really be on opinion. It'll be like, you win your conference, you're in. Alright, now that we got that over with, back in the day, there weren't as many channels on TV, and Notre Dame struck gold with NBC, and they were one of the only teams that people could watch back then with college football, yada, yada, yada. Most of you probably already know that. Notre Dame now has a deal with NBC which restricts them from joining a conference for the sport of football. That's why they're partially in the ACC. And if you're mad at Notre Dame for being partially in the ACC, I think you should take a step back. Be mad at the ACC. To me, this is like a parent who has kind of a brat child that walks all over the parent. The parent's letting them walk all over. The ACC is letting Notre Dame stomp and walk all over. If you're a Notre Dame fan, hey, that's great, you do you. If you're an ACC fan, if you're in the ACC, you gotta say, hey, what are we doing? We're letting Notre Dame have the pants in the relationship. They are calling the shots. So the ACC, look in the mirror. Y'all shouldn't have let Notre Dame in without playing a full ACC conference schedule. So now we're going to talk about how actually this helps Notre Dame if they join a conference. First of all, it helps because Notre Dame plays 0 FCS opponents. I'm assuming that they're going to be joining the ACC and not the Big Ten. If you didn't know already, the ACC and the SEC play less conference games than all the rest of the Power 5 conferences. So the ACC is already at an advantage to have a team in the college football playoff because they just fill that game in with an FCS program that's, just going to be able to get beat down for a bunch of money. So that helps Notre Dame. It weakens their schedule and it makes it a lot easier to win more games. Notre Dame's schedule is hard year in and year out. And basically these FCS games are extra bye weeks. Not only do they help you prepare for the next week, they help you fix last week's, and they help you get in younger guys who haven't gotten as much playing time and maybe make some moves on the roster. So with that being said, I think that joining conference will let Notre Dame play FCS opponents, making their schedule easier. Also, it'll make their schedule easier because they won't be traveling from coast to coast every week. They play teams in California, and they also play teams on the East Coast. They also play teams in the middle of America. They play teams in South Bend. I think Hawaii is the only other team in college football that has more mileage than Notre Dame. Also, Notre Dame's going to Ireland this year. They've been to Ireland in like 2012. The Fighting Irish are racking up the sky miles. I feel bad for the fans who have to travel everywhere to go to these games, but it's true. Traveling as an 18 or 19-year-old college football player ain't easy. It'll make it a lot easier if Notre Dame is just playing on that Atlantic coast. Finally, my final reason why it will help Notre Dame is to get into the college football playoffs currently, Notre Dame's got to run the table. There is no excuse. They can't lose a game. They have to run the table to have a chance at getting in. If they're in an ACC, not only is their schedule going to be a lot easier, they're going to be playing a lot worse teams. They're probably going to get into the ACC championship, playing Clemson. Depends what division they get in, but I'm assuming they'll get on the other side. So that in itself makes it a lot easier for Notre Dame. They can afford to lose a game to, say, I don't know, NC State. Clemson always seems to have at least one inferior opponent beat them and they still get in the national championship time and time again. You can afford a slip up if you can win your conference championship, even if the conference championship is against a horrible team. In the case of the ACC, that tends to happen a lot. So for Notre Dame fans, it's much easier to get into the college football playoffs. And while you're saying, well, Notre Dame doesn't deserve to be in the college football playoffs anyways because they got curb stomped by Clemson, 33-3, I believe was the score. Well, guess what? That was one of the best Clemson teams ever in college football history. They went on to make Alabama look even worse than Notre Dame. It was a bigger beatdown. So you got to take that into context. Context is everything. But let me know what you think down below. Do you think Notre Dame should join a conference? Do you think they should put their money aside with NBC Sports and join the ACC? Let me know what you think down below. Thanks for watching the EndZone. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below so we can move the chains.